As the biggest race in the United States, the Amgen Tour of California draws both the top domestic teams as well as the top Pro Tour teams and Tour de France level riders like Andy Schleck. What ends up happening is you have sort of two different components within the peloton, two different sets of objectives. And we talk to riders from both sides of that fence to find out what it's like to compete with riders that maybe you don't see at any other point in the season.
They come into our areas and race our races, and they want to control how it goes. And for us, every opportunity of getting to race these big races is huge for the domestic team. So we don't want to waste anything. So we're going to race super hard, super aggressive, and make every opportunity count. And sometimes the Pro Tour teams don't really appreciate that because it makes their job harder.
It's a little bit different when you don't know all the riders you're racing with. You don't know the strength of them. But I like it. I like to come here. It's an important race for a few teams, but for our team and for some other teams, it's more relaxed and we can take it a little bit more easy. And I think it's a really good race for preparing for the upcoming races, and it's good preparation for the tour. It's a good start on that preparation.
For a lot of these teams, like a stage win here can almost make the season.
I think that's true for both levels of teams, though. You see teams like HTC and Radio Shack. This is a very, very important race for them as well. It's not, it's no longer a small event on anyone's radar. So, of course, it's the biggest thing we do all year, whereas they do, other Grand Tours and whatnot. But I think the importance is very high for all the teams across the board.
For those riders, I think this is the important race of the year, of course. I think for those teams, if they win a stage, of course, it makes the year, and they're in top shape over here. And I'm here like in shape after the classics. Had a little vacation, and now I start again in this race. So that's more difficult, of course. And I think the teams are really good. The American teams, good riders. So I think that they level. They're even with the European races, I think.
Everybody's racing for their objective, and there's times when it's like a little bit, we're in the same mix for the same goal, but that's a bike race.
Of course, the domestic teams are not as competitive in the general classification, so they're looked at to be more aggressive. The guys that are attacking first and attacking early and attacking often.
The racing here in America is harder because of the domestic teams wanting to get the exposure, whereas if you do a Pro Tour race, they have a lot more control. Everyone just accepts the fate for that day. It's going to be a sprinter's day and blah blah blah. And then, whereas the domestic guys over here, we're going to be racing super hard all the way to the finish line just in case. We're going to take every opportunity, and I think that makes it a lot more exciting and a lot harder racing.
If they try to stop me from doing what I'm going to do, then there'll be issues, And for the most part, though, everybody's really respectful and really cool. So as long as it stays that way, there'll be much of a problem.
So they realize you guys have a job to do, and they're going to.
Some of them. Some of them think that we're here to, specifically to make up numbers, which, maybe they're right, but I don't think so necessarily. I mean, it's a shame that they have to race with such amateurs. But again, I take that. I'm kind of joking. 98% of everybody is really, really cool. So.